Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Sultanate of Oman condemns the ongoing Israeli aggression on the Gaza Strip and renews its appeal to the international community and the Security Council to protect civilians in the Strip. And 19 people are killed in a Russian missile and drone attack on Ukrainian regions. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. The Foreign Ministry issued a statement as follows. The Sultanate of Oman expressed its condemnation of the ongoing aggression launched by the Israeli occupation forces against the Gaza Strip and the accompanying deliberate targeting of innocent civilians, including the bombing of a shelter affiliated with Dar al-Arqam school in the Tufah neighborhood and the destruction of a warehouse containing medical and relief supplies belonging to the Saudi Center for Culture and Heritage. The Sultanate of Oman renewed its appeal to the international community and the Security Council to take decisive measures to protect civilians, halt these ongoing and serious violations of international law, and achieve justice for the Palestinian people by ending the Israeli occupation of their lands and enabling them to achieve their legitimate rights, foremost among which is the establishment of an independent state with East Jerusalem as its capital, in accordance with international legitimacy, resolutions, and the Arab Peace Initiative. More than 60 Palestinians were killed and about 160 others were injured in an Israeli attack that targeted 3 schools housing displaced persons east of Gaza City. The Palestinian Ministry of Health stated that the health sector in Gaza is suffering from a severe humanitarian crisis due to a shortage of medical equipment and supplies following the closure of crossing and the prevention of the entry of aid for more than a month. The Palestinian death toll in the Gaza Strip has risen to 50,609 with 115,063 injured following nearly 18 months of Israeli military operations since October 7, 2023. In the past 24 hours alone, Israeli military operations claimed that lives of 86 people and left 287 others wounded, the authorities reported. Meanwhile, the Israeli Defense Forces said in a statement that its forces continued operations in the northern Gaza Strip to strengthen control and expand the security zone. On the other hand, efforts at restarting negotiations brokered by Egypt and Qatar have stalled. Over the past 2 weeks, more than 280,000 people have been displaced in Gaza, according to UN humanitarian agency OCHA, adding to misery for families already repeatedly displaced over the past 18 months. Syria welcomed the UN resolution on human rights in Syria. This resolution reflects the support of the Council's 47 member states for the new Syrian government and its efforts to improve its human rights record. Syria's ambassador to the United Nations in Geneva said that Syria views the draft resolution positively and considers it balanced. It also appreciates the support and assistance it has received from the countries that have declared their willingness to cooperate with the Syrian government in achieving the aspirations of the Syrian people to promote peace, stability, and development. Ukraine said a Russian attack on the city of Kryvyi Rih killed at least 19 civilians, including 9 children. The governor of the Kryvyi Rih region said a missile hit residential areas, killing 19 people and sparking fires. The Russian Defense Ministry announced that the missile attack targeted a military gathering, not civilians. Ukrainian air defenses shot down 51 of the 92 drones launched by Russia in overnight attacks. The Ukrainian military said in a statement that 31 other Russian drones had been lost. The fresh U.S. tariff policy means protectionism, which bucks the trend of the world economy and is bound to pose risks to the United States itself, a Japanese economist said today. As part of the reciprocal tariffs announced by President Donald Trump, Japan will be subject to a 24% levy on its exports to the U.S. Furthermore, a previously announced 25% tariff on all car imports took effect as scheduled on Thursday in the U.S., dealing a major blow to the Japanese auto industry. Hidetoshi Tashiro, chief economist at Infinity LLC, a Japanese consultancy firm advising stock trading and real estate management, said Japan's pillar automobile industry will bear the brunt of the U.S. reciprocal tariffs and tariffs on automobiles, with some companies even facing a life-or-death crisis. The expert believes that the U.S. tariff policy will also worsen inflation in the United States and have a negative effect on global trade. Indonesian rescuers recovered at least 10 bodies after a landslide struck vehicles on a hilly road on the country's main island of Java. Torrential rains pushed mud, rocks, and trees down the mountainshed road on Thursday, bearing a van with 7 people aboard and a pickup truck with 3 traders and full of vegetables near Watu Lamp, Pang. Rescuers pulled out the body of the van's driver late Thursday and his 6 family members, including 3 children, wife, and parents, were retrieved yesterday together with the bodies of the 3 traders. Seasonal rains from about October to April frequently cause flooding and landslides in Indonesia, a vast archipelago of 17,000 islands where millions of people live in mountainous areas or near fertile floodplains. Still to come in our news bulletin. To integrate artificial intelligence into daily life, a Chinese company develops humanoid robots to do daily chores. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Credit Oman's performance last year witnessed a growth of 5.4%. Total Omani exports and insured local sales reached over 376 million Omani Riyals compared to 356 million Omani Riyals in 2023. Credit Oman achieved a profit of 381,412 Omani Riyals last year, compared to 719,185 Omani Riyals in 2023. Credit Oman continues its efforts to empower Omani exports and local sales through an integrated suite of insurance services, which in turn opens new horizons for entering promising markets around the world. The market value in Muscat Stock Exchange increased by the end of March to over 27.6 billion Omani Riyals, recording gains around 329 million Omani Riyals compared to the value by the end of February. Muscat Stock Exchange witnessed volatile performances last March as public joint stock companies approved dividends for the previous fiscal year, and the main index closed down for the 3rd consecutive month, closing March trading at 4,367 points, recording a decline by 68 points from its level at the end of February. Money supply in the Sultanate of Oman grew by more than 8% on an annual basis, reaching 24.9 billion Omani Riyals by the end of last December. The Central Bank of Oman explained that this increase was due to a rise in narrow money by 18.6% and quasi-money by 4.4%. This compromises savings deposits and time deposits in Omani Riyals, in addition to certificates of deposit issued by banks. Meanwhile, cash held by the public decreased by over 15%, while demand deposits increased by 27.2%. International gold trade in the Sultanate of Oman witnessed a remarkable recovery until the end of November last year due to increases in imports, exports, and re-exports, reflecting increased local and regional demand for the precious metal. The National Center for Statistics and Information indicated that gold imports to the Sultanate of Oman increased by 17.4% to 372 million Omani Riyals by the end of November last year. The total weight of imported gold also rose to 15,439 kilograms compared to 14,358 kilograms during the same period of the previous year. A Chinese company developed a humanoid robot that are learning to steam clothes, make sandwiches, and do household chores to integrate artificial intelligence into daily life. Here's more in this report.
In a warehouse on the outskirts of Shanghai, nearly 100 humanoid robots are learning to make sandwiches, clean counters, and arrange flowers for 17 hours a day. Their repetitive movements are not just for show, they're part of a data-driven effort to advance AI-powered automation. Chinese robotics firm AGBot is developing humanoid robots capable of handling everyday tasks from household chores to retail work as part of a broader push to integrate artificial intelligence into daily life.
Robots will start to be useful first in some structural environments. And also the tasks are quite clear and specific because it's a contained kind of environment. You can exactly tell the robots to do repetitive but maybe boring jobs, right?
The company has set up stimulated environments such as a fully stocked convenience store and a furnished apartment where data acquisition robots called the AGBot Genie 1 practice real-world tasks with the human controllers. Each action generates data that is fed into AGBot's central embodied AI system, refining its larger-scale learning models.
I think the generative AI's capability will give us a combinatorial generalization capability where the robots can first understand open and vague natural language instruction, and second, can imagine and plan combinations of different skills and objects.
AGBot has released 5 robots in total, including the biped A2 that has been sold to auto manufacturers and put in showrooms to interact with visitors. So far, the company has manufactured over 1,000 robots and delivered 700 to customers, primarily within China.
This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Sultanate of Oman condemns the ongoing Israeli aggression on the Gaza Strip and renews its appeal to the international community and the Security Council to protect civilians in the Strip. And 19 people are killed in a Russian missile and drone attack on Ukrainian regions. With that, we come to the end of tonight's bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night, and we hope you've had an enjoyable weekend.